You ready?
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you start talking,
Okay.
I'm go.
Okay, today I'm going to talk to you in simple terms about being persistent in getting healthcare treatment if you're sick, and about taking an active role in your healthcare. Think of your healthcare as a partnership between you and your doctor, where you both have active roles in making sure that you get your healthcare needs met. Communication is the key. You have to make sure that you document what's happening, so that way when you get to the doctor, you can tell him without having to remember. And the more information you can give him, the better care that you can get. No one knows your body like you do, so you have to be persistent if you're not feeling well. Sometimes it may take going to the doctor 2 or 3 times, but you have to be persistent. It has been shown that the more persistent you are, or the more involved you are in your health care, the better results that you get. There are a couple of things to remember, though, before you go to your doctor's office or whether you go to a new doctor. It's important that you make notes, write down the symptoms that you're having, so that way when you get to the doctor's office, you're not trying to remember off the top of your head. You can just read right off the paper, today or yesterday I had this, I had that. Also, take a list of your medications with you, especially if you're going to a new doctor. You need to write what medications you're taking, the strength, and how often you're taking them. Take notes or write down questions that you have before you go to the doctor's office. That way, you get all your questions answered. Sometimes you may have to stop a little bit and make sure that you understand everything the doctor is saying. He talks in different terms. He's speaking in medical terms. We're speaking everyday language. So you have to make sure that you understand what he's saying. And don't be afraid. Ask him to stop. Answer your questions. Or if he says something while you're there and you have questions, ask him. Make sure you understand everything he's telling you, whether it's your health care, your medicine, or whatever, before you leave the doctor's office. Sometimes it's a good idea that you take a family member or someone with you to help you out while you're there. There are countless stories of people who's actually gotten actively involved, gone out, sought assistance from several doctors, even going online in order to get the appropriate medical care that they need. I'm a prime example of that. The year before I was due to retire from the Navy, I started going to the doctor. I was having a problem with rapid heart rate. I was getting dizzy, shortness of breath. For 6 months, I went to the doctor. Everybody kept saying, oh, there's nothing wrong, you're too young to be having heart problems. But I persisted, I kept going back. My last 6 months before I retired, my diagnosis changed to, you're stressed out. You're getting out of the Navy, you've been 20 years in the Navy, you're stressed. So of course, that was my first thought was, okay, I'm stressed. I went back home. I thought about that for a couple of weeks, but I'm excited. I'm getting out of the Navy. I've spent 20 years. I've saved my money. I didn't have to work for 6 months. I wasn't stressed out. I kept having problems. I was actually getting worse. I went back to the doctor's office. I got the same diagnosis again. You're stressed out. I wasn't stressed. But I eventually retired, but I didn't stop going to the doctor. I continued to go to my TRICARE Prime provider on the outside. I got the same results from her that I did from my previous doctor. You're too young to have heart disease. We can't find anything wrong with you. 3 months after I retired from the Navy, I hadn't eaten in a month. I hadn't slept in a month. I picked up 45 pounds. I finally went back to my doctor's office and insisted you get x-rays. I came here, got my x-rays. I wasn't due to see her for another 2 weeks. After a week, I decided I've had enough. I can't wait. I came in here. I went to the emergency room. I wound up in the CCU unit for a week and a half with congestive heart failure and 5 blood clots in my lungs. So it pays, if you're not feeling well, to be persistent. Go back. And it helped that I had taken notes and things. And when I came to the ER, I brought those things with me. So the doctor had a clear picture of what I had been going through. So that really benefits you. You have to be an advocate for your own health care. According to the Red Hot Mamas administration, They're a urological organization. They said the more involved you are in your health care, the better care that you get and the more satisfied you are with the type of care. Done.